So we were telling you about Katie Porter. She is the representative who's been making the rounds lately. She was on Bill Maher's show this weekend, joined by Piers Morgan, where Representative Porter decided to mock their age.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, to do something for the likes, that disease that happened to America, that every kid has to do something for the likes. I just think our kids are not mature.
Well, I think they're constantly seeking affirmation. This is because of things like Instagram.
It's
like you post something and people validate you.
But
so
to use national security secrets for that?
Well, because
the level of bad judgment.
Right, but the real scandal is not that he wants to do it.
You guys sound kind of old.
What?
Right now. I mean, let's be
Sorry?
Kids are immature. That's why they're kids.
Not at 21. Not all over the world.
21-year-olds are immature. That's why we don't let them drink until they're 21. That's why some of us don't think that 20-year-olds or 19-year-olds ought to be able to go get AR-15.
They can go
How about vote?
I think
they should be voting.
They can be in the Army.
Well, I think that's a discussion we should have, because I think the more we know about
I thought if you vote, you should be able to have a certain level of maturity. They're deciding whether you should be in Congress or not.
Well, and by the way, I win those votes.
What?
And I win those votes, and I'm proud of it. But what I'm saying is,
you just said you win the votes of the immature.
Well, but the immature, first off, immaturity is not necessarily an age thing. You can be immature well.
But you just
into
played
your
the age
adulthood.
card.
Yeah.
You were like, our argument sucks because we're old, which is
No, I didn't say that. I
that's
said
getting
you
so
sounded-
boring.
And by the way, I'm only
No
58,
kidding.
just for the record.
Not young.
Shouldn't we critique each other on the content of our ideas, not on those identity politics? Things like, you're old, you couldn't possibly have the right idea.
Yeah, I really hate that argument, too, because anything you're opposed to that, has happened socially or online in the last 25 years, you can't relate to it because
you're a boomer.
Yeah, you're too old. No, I can still discern right from wrong. And I understand that when kids are getting dopamine hits from just, having the like button pushed for them, that could be a problem. And it is a problem. Look what's happening to our youth now. Wow. She's hideous.
Yes, that's the word.
And she's been the congressional face of opposition to swimmer Riley Gaines lately.
So weird.
Riley Gaines is she's a real powerhouse, and she's been really crusading to protect women's sports. Mm-hmm. It's not transphobia. She's not afraid of people who are trans. She just doesn't think they should be competing against biological women.
Whoa, what a crazy
idea.
Boy, she
right?
sounds old. Riley Gaines with that take.
Yeah, doesn't she? What is she, 22? 23? So here's what she said about Gaines and trans women in women's sports.
We should be able to have a civil debate. Nobody, including Riley Gaines, who I disagree with strongly, should feel
What do you disagree with, out of interest?
I think that it should be up to sporting bodies to make the decisions about who and how should compete.
What has she said that's actually wrong?
Yeah.
I think that what she has done is try to turn this. We talked about people, using things to kind of get likes and get clicks.
That's not what she's doing. I've got no truck for Riley Gaines personally, but all I've seen her do is stand up for women's rights to fairness and equality.
Well,
she actually competed against Leah Thomas, and it was obviously unfair. Leah Thomas won one of the races in the NCAA championships by 50 seconds against a bunch of biological females who simply couldn't keep up. That cannot be right. It cannot be fair.
That is something that
You sound old.
trust. I think our sporting bodies should be dealing with. And by the way, Riley is speaking up for herself, and that is her prerogative, and I respect her free speech.
I think she's speaking up for pretty much every female athlete in the world.
Thank you.
I mean, wasn't that the point of Title IX?
Yes!
Title IX in the early 70s was something that was it was a major event in feminism, that we finally have this law that says at colleges, right, and I think high schools too, but definitely colleges, women's sports have to be given equal to men's sports, so that women aren't and this led to the WNBA and lots of other stuff. This seems to be the opposite of that. It seems to be so many instances, I think, where wokeness is the opposite of what I grew up as liberalism. Liberalism was, let's give the women an equal shot. This is let's put a male in the swimming pool with the women. I don't get it.
It's crazy. And meanwhile, trans people who genuinely want to compete at athletics and swimming or whatever it may be, they're the ones who are suffering here. They need to be found a way to compete fairly and justly.
Well, what's your answer then?
I think there's one or two answers. I think they either compete against their biological sex, as many of them did before, or you create an entirely new category.
That's what we said. That's what we said a million times.
And then they're able to compete fairly. But what you cannot do is continue to allow more and more trans athletes to start decimating women's records. In some cases, irrevocably. It's just not fair.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Boy, they put her in her place, didn't they? So great.
What a strange world where common sense is this crazy idea to these people like Katie Porter.
Yeah.
I can't understand
Radical
this world.
and extreme. Incredible.
It truly is.
Speaking of sports, here's an interesting chart that was sent our way.
Oh.
And it shows a fascinating trend that's going on.
Oh, no.
Can we see the
can
we see the chart?
This would be what, injuries?
Testicular injuries.
Oh, my goodness.
Among female athletes.
It's just skyrocketed. It's off the charts.
Look at that. That is, it's gone straight up.
Straight up.
Since, 2021-ish?
Yeah,
in there somewhere?
But, look at that. It was
but it was
practically
zero.
none.
It was almost none. From 1900 all the way to 2000, it had a little bit of a rise.
Little rise, yeah, and then it's just crazy.
It's just
These
off
are
the charts
testicular injuries among female athletes. Something changed. I wonder what happened.
I don't know. That's really weird. Apparently, they wore their jock straps before now, or is that what protected them?
I don't know.
And now they've just decided, I'm not going to wear one. And
risky,
look at that.
That's risky. And see what happens.
I should have said athletic supporters. It's a kinder, gentler term, perhaps.